Mrs. Servant? Here. Ms. Weinstein?
Here.
Mrs. Kelleher?
Here.
Mrs. Atkinson?
Here.
Mr. Merkin? Mrs. Winkler? Mrs. Knopf?
Here. At this time, I'd like to invite you to join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Nice to see so many people here tonight. Tonight is a very special night as we get to recognize the district teachers and MTSDs of the year. I'd like to congratulate everyone who is receiving these honors tonight, and I would like to thank their families for sharing your family members with us. I got to attend the MTS second grade poetry tea. It turns out a lot of moms like coffee and are good cooks. That seems to be the common theme in their poems. The poems are cute and adorable to listen to. As the school year begins to wrap up, there's lots of end of the year festivities, concerts, art shows coming up, honor society recognizations. I'd like to thank the district staff for all that you do to make these magical moments for all of our students. I hope everyone enjoys and makes the most of the rest of their school years, especially the seniors who are ending their journey as Manchester Township school students. And May is Mental Health Awareness Month, so I want to remind you, take care of your mental health. And I will leave you with some words. The strongest people are not those who show strength in front of us, but those who win battles we know nothing about. And that love is unknown. So, that's it for me. Ms. Pedrosa, do you have a report?
I do. So good evening, everybody, and welcome. I would like to, first of all, start with congratulating some of our retirees. We have Mary Ellen Del Nero with 23 years and Brendan Scanzini, 17 years. Also, a wonderful lunch aid from MTS, Carol Week. So a nice round of applause. This evening is an exceptionally great night in our Manchester Township School District as we have the privilege of congratulating and honoring the 2023-2024 Teacher of the Year and Educational Service Professionals of the Year recipients. We also will be recognizing the MTMS engineering team who has won the New Jersey, Pennsylvania Regional Sea Perch competition. With this honor comes the opportunity to compete in the 2024 International Sea Perch at the University of Maryland on May 31st and June 1st. This evening it is my honor to recognize the team and wish them the best of luck. So if members of the team would come up, please, along with Mrs. Sinister. So I'd like to recognize Mrs. Sinister, and then we will start with the 8th graders, who are Emma DeSantis, Jolene Lysek, Kayla Meyer, Colin Nolan, Kaylin Spinoza. Kellen, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Jeremy Van Pelt, Aaron Wong, and Tyler Perlman. Congratulations to the 8th graders. That's okay. You take your time. And maybe Mrs. Sinister can help you with some of them. We'll congratulate the 7th graders. We have Julio Barrera, Kennedy Servinac, Isabella Gasper, Sophia Salguero, and Aiden Moya. Congratulations to those 7th graders. And then our 6th grade recipients is Blake Cortez, Joseph Murray, Emma Sabo, and Jaden Villar. Congratulations. Mrs. Sinister, would you like to say anything? If you would like to.
I'd like to thank everyone at the MTMS for supporting our students and helping us get to this level. We're very fortunate that we have the opportunity to go to the international competition. We're going to meet kids from all over the world, from I think 32 countries. So just that alone, just attending there and spending time with other students to see what they're doing and understanding the connections all around the world, they're all the same. So I'm so proud of them, and I can't wait to go.
competition, and we will report that at our next meeting. Our next presentation is for the Teachers of the Year and the ESP of the Year. So I'm going to ask at this point if Mrs. Driver will please come up.
Good evening, everyone. I want to take this time to congratulate each and every one of our honorees tonight. It's a wonderful honor. So I congratulate all of you and your family. So the MTMS Teacher of the Year this year is an amazing lady. It's Mrs. Danielle Deluisio. Mrs. Deluisio has a BA and she's Teacher of the Handicap. She's been 24 years at MTMS, so this has been her home for her entire career. She is dedicated to her students. She always goes above and beyond for her students. You can always go in her room, and if anyone needs any help, Mrs. Deluisio is always the one to do it, whether it's a student, a staff member, an admin. She actually was helping when we had a flood in the middle school a couple of weeks ago, and she was mopping, so she does it all. So we'd like to congratulate her tonight. She's here with her husband, and she's here with Phil, her daughter Sophia, and her son Lorenzo. So Ms. Deluisio, come on up.
So I am deeply grateful to be chosen as Teacher of the Year for Manchester Township Middle School. This school has been my home away from home for 24 amazing years. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to my loving husband and my incredible children. Their patience and unwavering encouragement has given me the strength to keep going even when the job gets tough. My sincere appreciation to my superintendent, administrators, and colleagues who have built a strong culture of integrity, good character, and high-quality professionalism, as well as providing me with support. My dear students, I cherish all of you. I am privileged to have the opportunity to teach you the love of learning. You can accomplish and learn anything when you challenge yourself and step outside of your comfort zone. I am filled with gratitude to be recognized for my commitment and drive in education, and I am forever indebted for this award. Our motto here is excellence by example, so I'd like to thank the Board of Education, Mrs. Bedroza, Mrs. Driver, Dr. Ott, Mrs. McLaughlin, and Mrs. Nickel.
Next, I'd like to bring up Mrs. Nicole Pignatara, and she is our Educational Service Professional of the Year. Mrs. Pignatara holds her BS in Communication Disorders from UMass. She has a Master's in Speech Pathology from TCNJ. She has presided 15 of her 17 years at the middle school. She joins the evening tonight with her husband Joe and her children Andrew and Allie. So congratulations, we are very happy for you.
First, I would like to thank the administrators and the Board of Education for giving me this recognition. I would also like to thank my family for their support and encouragement. And thank you to my colleagues and for all of your hard work and dedication to this field. It's a privilege to work with all of you and truly takes a team approach to give each one of our students a voice. I started in Manchester working with preschoolers, and over the past 15 years, I've had the wonderful experience of working with high school and middle school students as well, and even encountered some of my old preschool students again. So seeing the progress they have made is heartwarming, and getting the opportunity to experience first words to now helping them use their vocabulary to write essays has been so fulfilling. And the job of a speech and language therapist often goes unnoticed, but I did not go into this field for the recognition, but instead to make sure that each one of my students has the opportunity to communicate. I believe that they all deserve a voice and to know that their words matter. So from the child who masters their R sound to the child who uses a device to greet someone in the hallway, those moments make it all worth it. My father was an educator and always used the quote, "They don't care how much you know until they know how much you care." And I was reminded of this quote when Mrs. Pedrosa used it in a recent email. And not only is this my philosophy, but it truly encompasses the rapport and compassion seen with educators and their students here in Manchester. I know that my students will continue to feel cared for, feel heard, and can always count on me to support them. Thank you again for this honor and recognition. I truly appreciate it.
I'd like to invite up Mrs. Moore, the principal of MTES.
Good evening, and I would like to start by congratulating all our teachers and educational service professionals of the year. We are truly honored to work with each and every one of you. I'm going to start by welcoming up the MTS Teacher of the Year, Gretchen Freund. Gretchen has a BA in Business Administration and Marketing from Francis Marion University and a Master's in Administration and Supervision from Georgian Court University. She's been teaching for 16 years, 14 of those years in Manchester. Ms. Freund is our Broadcast News Coordinator and teaches our resource students. She is joined this evening by her mom and stepdad, Marianne and Dan Terrabush. Congratulations, Gretchen.
Good evening. As it was mentioned, I'm Ms. Freund, a special education resource room teacher at MTES. However, many MTES students know me better as Miss Flamingo, the Y Kids pickup lady, the MTES news lady, and my two favorites, the helper teacher, and recently, the Walk with a Purpose dismissal teacher. Each title I proudly wear. I would like to thank you, the Board of Education, Mrs. Pedrosa, and my administrators for the opportunity to speak tonight, and also for the recognition, incredible honor, and new title of Teacher of the Year for MTES. I will do my best to keep this short, but Marshall Mathers said it best. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. The moment you own it, you better never let it go. However, before I go any further, I would like to apologize to my students, not for my bad singing, but for 16 years, I've told students experiencing writer's block that if they don't know what to write about themselves, because it's the easiest topic to write about. Well, Teacher of the Year recognition has taught me that is not always the easiest thing to write about yourself, especially when you have to state how wonderful you are and the great things that you do. With that said, I would like to take this opportunity to share the events and the people who made it possible for me to be here tonight, because without them, I would be, well, pretty good at stuff. Honestly, I believe that I would not be a teacher in this district, let alone a Teacher of the Year, without the invention of the color printer. I want to go back a minute to my 2009 interview with Dr. Scadisi and Mr. Kaiser. Two people I had never met. I sat there nervously with my portfolio in my hand, and I was ready to rock and roll. During the course of my interview, Dr. Scadisi left the room about 4,000 times, asking for different things from my portfolio. During the 4,001st time, I finally said, all the documents you need are right there in that portfolio. And she looked at me and she said, but this is in color. Mr. Kaiser chimed in with, yes, Fran, they make color printers now. Fortunately, I controlled my laughter as I gave a nervous smile and shook my head, yeah. Once my interview was over, I did quickly get back to my car and I was like, there's no way this lady is hiring me. I couldn't keep her in the room long enough. And when I went back for my second interview and I was handing out another set of portfolios, she said, I've already got mine, thank you. And I knew from then I had made a good impression. I would also like to say that my teaching career has been a piece of cake, fantastic, best day ever. Although all of the days may not have been perfect, they have all been worth it. I've had the opportunity to work with the most amazing and diverse group of students I call my Friendopians, who motivate me every day to try harder and do better, especially with my singing and dancing. I have been blessed with supportive administrators who encourage me to take risks and expand my experiences outside of my comfort zone, even when I really don't want to. Then there are my amazing colleagues and friends who pray with me and for me, sing and dance with me, encourage me, and simply shake their heads and smile as they allow me to be me. When I take too deep of a dive down the rabbit hole, they are there to help me snap out of it, either by breaking open the chocolate stash or even offering to slap me with a tortilla if necessary. Of course, I need to thank my twin and my personal medical guru who worked diligently to create the most moving write-up I have ever read. Even after reading it 100 times, I still can't believe it was about me, and also how eloquently my passion for paddleboarding with the Jersey Shore Mermaids was mentioned. As the song goes, people come into your lives for a reason, bringing something we must learn, and because I knew you, I have been changed for good. Of course, I would not be here without my phenomenal family. My father, who helped me on my career path because taking over the family construction business was not in my best interest. My stepdad, who has been tasked with the position of editor-in-chief, proofreader of every piece of writing I've ever written since the age of 16, and there's been a lot, but he did not have to proofread this. As I hand over each paper for editing, I am sure to remind him I am a special education teacher who was also a resource room kid herself. Unfortunately for Dan, I love a good run-on sentence, commas showing up everywhere. He returns each paper with a very positive response of, sounds pretty good to me, just a few changes need to be made, and you sure love those commas. And finally, I would like to take this moment to thank and recognize one truly amazing person, without whom I would not be who I am today. The person that when I ask the loaded question, am I a disappointment, looks me directly in the face, lists every achievement I've ever had, tells me how beautiful and amazing I am, then finishes off with our Freund family motto, newsflash, you're not perfect, perfection is boring, and you are not boring. Followed by, come here you big loser and give me a hug, because she knows that sometimes I just need a hug and a laugh to forget all my worries. She is the first person who drops whatever she is doing to lend a helping hand, without expecting recognition or often without even a thank you. She does it all from creating gift baskets and enhancing my elaborate wardrobe to planning stellar vacations, all the while making sure her family is well taken care of, especially her demanding furry granddaughter, Lady. If you ask her, she'll tell you, people don't know my name, I'm simply Gretchen's mom, a title she uses proudly to introduce herself. Mom, I may be your sunshine, but you truly are the wind beneath my wings. To the world, you may be Gretchen's mom, but to me, Marianne Tarabush, you are the world. Thank you for all that you do and making me a better person each and every day. I love you. In closing, this entire experience can be best summed up with a line from my favorite musical, Newsies. I'm going to try very hard not to sing it. I gotta be dreaming, cause look at that cape with my face beaming. Tomorrow they may wrap fishes in it, but I was a star for 1 whole minute. Thank you for my moment in the spotlight and allowing me to shine a little brighter. This is truly a once-in-a-lifetime honor that I will never forget. Thank you so much.
And now for our MTES Educational Services Professional of the Year, Kim Castello. I had the honor of working with Kim as a teacher at Ridgeway, and now most recently this year specialist and coach at MTS. Kim has a BS in Business Administration from Georgian Court University and a Master's in Arts in Education from Georgian Court University. She's been teaching for 10 years in Manchester. Mrs. Castaiola is our reading specialist, focusing on student achievement in ELA as a certified dyslexia practitioner and foundations facilitator. She is joined tonight by her husband, Domenico, children, Valentina, Sienna, and Jordana, as well as her mom and dad, Tony and Glenn Flanagan. Congratulations, Kim.
Ladies and gentlemen, members of the board, esteemed colleagues, and dear students, it's with immense gratitude that I stand before you today, deeply honored to receive the Educational Service Professional of the Year Award. This recognition is not just a personal achievement, but a celebration of the collective efforts of our district. I am a true product of Manchester. In fact, I am an alumnus of the class of 1998. Don't do the math. This district shaped me from an early age, and the most amazing educators led me on my educational journey. And now that I'm here, the administration has pushed for my development to become the professional I am today. I didn't always want to be a teacher. In fact, my dream was to become an astronaut. I traveled to space camp, I took flying lessons, I even met Buzz Aldrin. But then I found out that I was too short for the space shuttle. So, yeah, that's true. So I needed a new plan, and I thought I would tap into my creative side and perhaps work in the field of marketing. Fast forward, I was on break from college, and I was subbing at Manchester for extra money, and I soon realized that I had it all wrong, and education is where I belonged. After returning back to school for my master's degree and working in higher ed, I obtained my teaching certification. Mrs. Pedroza took a chance on me and granted me the position of a special education teacher at Ridgeway. And it was there that I discovered my passion. One day she handed me a box, and it was the first Foundations kit, and she said, "See if you can do something with this." And as I stand here today, not only am I a reading specialist, but a certified dyslexia practitioner, Foundations facilitator, and presenter, and now I train others to support their students. So it wasn't all wasted time on my path to education, because in order to be a successful educator, you have to market the information to students so that they want what you have. And here's the kicker. Did you know that teaching struggling readers is just like rocket science? Both rocket scientists and reading educators engage in complex processes that ultimately contribute to greater understanding and achievement, whether in exploring the cosmos or unlocking the world of written language. I wholeheartedly believe that reading is not just a privilege, it's a basic human right that's crucial for personal development, empowerment, and the advancement of society. And by teaching students how to read, we are taking down challenges, barriers, and making a difference that is direct and tangible, and a difference in their lives. When you have the power to break down those barriers, students can overcome obstacles and reach their full potential. Teaching is not a solitary endeavor, but it's a collaborative mission, and in Manchester, I work amongst the very best. My Ridgeway family, you have provided years of countless memories and friendships that I hold so very dear. My room 37 girls, Crystal, you're my rock. And this past year, I made the move over to MTES full-time to be their reading specialist. And Mrs. Moore and Mrs. Healy, thank you for adopting me into your family. I have thoroughly enjoyed getting to know all of my new coworkers and the incredible students in your building. And I would be remiss if I did not thank Mrs. Pedroza for taking that chance with me and for handing me that box. Also, Mrs. Nickel, you have been my unofficial mentor since day one, and I thank you. Of course, none of this would ever be possible without the incredible students that I have had the privilege of teaching along the way. You inspire me with your excitement, challenge me with your questions, and remind me daily of the profound impact a teacher's work can have. Your eagerness to learn and grow is the reason I dedicate myself to this profession. Last but not least, I want to express my deepest gratitude to my parents for their unwavering support and encouragement through all of my years. And thank you to my husband, whose understanding, patience, and belief in my work has been the cornerstone of my success. And my 3 beautiful daughters, Valentina, Sienna, and Jordana. You are my reason why. Being your mom is my most important job. And your enthusiasm for life and your curiosity about the world remind me every day why I chose this profession and why it's so important. In closing, I want to dedicate this award to all the teachers who inspired me, both past and present, and to the countless students whose potential knows no bounds. Let us always maintain our passion, dedication, and belief in the transformative power of education. Thank you all so much.
I'd like to invite up Mr. Adams, the principal of our high school.
Congratulations to all the award winners tonight. The Teacher of the Year for the high school is Erin Barhalter. Erin has a BA in Secondary Spanish Education, 21 years in Manchester School District teaching Spanish. She is joined by her husband Jason, her 2 daughters Emma and Josie, and her dad Ray. Dedicated and passionate about her students, she loves the Manchester community, students, staff, and parents. And if we had a title for tonight, it would be Everyone Loves Erin. Congratulations.
So I will never forget the first time I set foot in Manchester Township High School. It was April of 2003. I drove from Buffalo to have an interview with Mr. Walling and Mrs. Soper. Much to my surprise, the very same day, they sent me out to Whiting, where I would meet Mr. Berger, and the rest is history. That summer, I pulled out of my parents' driveway in Hamburg, New York, and make my way to New Jersey. And I've been proud to be part of the Hawk's Nest ever since. I was welcomed by Lucy DeLeo, Abby Clark, Danielle DeSaro, Chrissy Pirro, and Dorothy Paul. These ladies welcomed me, mentored me, and became my friends and family away from home. A few years later, Miss Bisson would become Mrs. Berhalter when I married my best friend. And then, of course, I added Mom to my list of names when I welcomed my greatest 2 gifts, Emma and Josie, into the world. Though people have come and gone, retired, or taken other roads, and life has taken many twists and turns, one thing is held true. I've always loved being a part of this community. Part of a school full of exceptional people who have become lifelong friends. Colleagues that have become confidants, and a support system that I don't know what I would do without. Exceptional supportive administrators, all of whom have helped me, guided me, and pushed me to be the best version of myself. I'm so thankful for their advice, support, and wisdom through the years. And then there's the kids. Hands down, Manchester kids are exceptional. They are the best. And I've been honored to work with them for the past 20 years. Whether in the classroom or as their class advisor, I've loved teaching them and being a part of their high school experience. And I'm even more inspired and honored to have inspired many of them to be continued language learners. This community sticks together, it's special. And the saying, once a hawk, always a hawk, couldn't be more fitting or true. To my mom and dad, thank you for always being in my corner and supporting me. Thank you for encouraging me to do my best and take pride in everything that I do. To my husband, Jason, for being patient and my voice of reason. And to Emma and Josie, I hope you both find the same sense of joy and happiness in your careers as I have found here. I am honored to have spent my professional life here in Manchester. Thank you for selecting me to be Teacher of the Year. I am forever grateful, and I look forward to many more years at the Hawk's Nest. Thank you.
Educational Service Professional of the Year from Manchester Township Township High School, Stephanie Boyd. Stephanie has a BA in speech pathology and MA in speech pathology. Has served as a speech language specialist in Manchester for 21 years. She is joined by her husband, Jen, and their 3 children, Lily, Sean, and Ian. She loves helping students achieve their goals and watching them grow and develop. Congratulations, Stephanie.
I would first like to thank the Board of Ed, all of my coworkers and administrators in both the high school and Whiting for constant support. Without them, I would not be where I am today. I would also like to thank my husband Jim and my 3 children, Sean, Ian, and Lily, for always being by my side in all my endeavors. Never in my life did I think that I would end up working with high school students and actually liking it. For the majority of my career, I've been working with elementary age students. Until I was moved, I thought working with teenagers was actually scary. Sometimes it still is. Before coming to the high school, I had surgery to remove a brain tumor that left me deaf in my left ear, and I questioned whether I could still make it as a speech-language pathologist. Realizing that with small accommodations that I could continue doing what I loved was a transformative moment that empowered me to embrace my abilities as a therapist. I was so glad that I can continue my journey in Manchester and pursue my passions with renewed determination. Despite the roadblocks that I faced personally and professionally, I was able to rise to the occasion to achieve great things in my career. Grit and determination propelled me past every obstacle, proving that believing in yourself is the key to success. Embrace every challenge as an opportunity for growth and success. Trust your abilities and you'll find the strength to overcome any barrier in your path. Being recognized by my colleagues as ESP of the Year for the high school is an absolute honor. Congratulations to all the other ESPs and Teachers of the Year. Thank you again from the bottom of my heart.
I'd like to invite up Ridgeway Elementary School Principal, Mrs. Guinan.
Good evening and congratulations to all of the recipients tonight. I would like to invite up Ridgeway's Teacher of the Year, Stacy O'Connor. Stacy holds a bachelor's in elementary education and also in English. She has a certification in music education. She's been teaching for 22 years, and she creates and organizes the most innovative and memorable school concerts, truly so appreciated by all of us. She is joined tonight by her husband Chad and her daughter Claire. Congratulations, Stacy.
Thank you, Mrs. Guinan, for your kind words. I appreciate your encouragement and leadership, as well as that of my Vice Principal, Ms. Young. It is with pride and gratitude that I have been chosen to represent Ridgeway School as their Teacher of the Year. I am humbled to be acknowledged alongside such talented and committed colleagues from throughout the district. So congratulations to all of you here tonight. Thank you to Superintendent Mrs. Pedroza, to the Board of Education for your support and for recognizing all of the esteemed professionals. I want to thank my husband Chad, my children Claire, James, and Kate, and my parents for always believing in me Your encouragement and guidance have been invaluable. I am blessed to have such a supportive and loving family. It has been a privilege to call Manchester Township Schools my second home for the past 16 years of my 22 years in education. Currently, I am fortunate to be the general music teacher at Ridgeway School. As a child, music class was my favorite place to go during the school day. I remember it as a safe and accepting place where I was happy and enjoyed expressing myself through song, and that is a gift I strive to give to my students every day. It is rewarding to witness their excitement and their enthusiasm as they explore their musicianship through singing, playing instruments, dancing, creating, and performing. They get so, sometimes they're hesitant at first when I first ask them to sing or to get up on risers and perform, but they build their confidence, and that's such a wonderful thing to see. Just the other day, I had a third grader tell me that he didn't want to sing at first, but once he got up there and performed, he had so much fun, he didn't even care that his feet hurt. Thank you. I encourage my students to believe in themselves, embrace their creativity, and continue to celebrate the joy of music. I want to recognize and thank my fellow district music teachers, the teachers, support staff, paraprofessionals, administrators, and other colleagues at Ridgeway School. Your expertise, dedication, and guidance have been an inspiration and have challenged me to work harder. Thank you for supporting the music program and for valuing the importance of music education. Ridgeway is a special place to be. It embraces community, teamwork, and collaboration among staff, students, and families. I'm amazed by the professionalism and the generosity of spirit displayed by our staff and administration every day. We strive for excellence and lead through example. You are all deserving of the title Teacher of the Year, and I am proud to be part of the Ridgeway family. Thank you.
And our Educational Service Professional of the Year is Lynn Spinelli. Come on up. Lynn holds a bachelor's in speech pathology and audiology from Stockton, a master's in speech and language pathology from Seton Hall. This is her 15th year as a speech and language pathologist in Manchester, and she truly creates such a positive and exciting learning environment for all of the students that she services. Congratulations, Lynn.
Good evening. I am honored and beyond grateful to be the recipient of the Educational Service Professional of the Year for Ridgeway Elementary School. There are so many deserving educators within all the buildings who go above and beyond for their students and are making a positive impact in their school communities. It is such a privilege to be standing amongst these exceptional educators here at Manchester. Thank you to our superintendent, Mrs. Pedroza, members of the Board of Education, and administration for taking the time to honor myself and these other distinguished professionals. I have been a speech language specialist at the elementary level for the last 15 years here at Manchester. I find this profession to be very meaningful and fulfilling. Every day, I am able to help my students improve in areas such as articulation, language, stuttering, and social skills. It is beyond rewarding to watch the children advance with their goals and overcome obstacles in communication. I love when I hear a student in the hallway use one of their target sounds in conversation when speaking to a peer, or use a new vocabulary word that they learned in the speech room. This recognition would not be attainable without the support that is provided from all the staff found at Ridgeway. Thank you to administration, child study team members, teachers, secretarial staff, and all my other colleagues for working together to foster a supportive relationship that encourages student success. Everyone in the building extends their expertise to provide the best services and educational experience for our students to be outstanding, kind, and strong individuals.
I would finally like to thank my family for their encouragement and support. Without them, this achievement would not have been possible. Thank you again for this incredible recognition. I am truly appreciative to be part of the Manchester community and will continue to strive to live by our district motto of excellence by example. Thank you.
I'd like to welcome up Mrs. Swift, the principal of Whiting Elementary School.
Good evening, everyone. First, I'd like to start by congratulating all of tonight's honorees. It's wonderful to see all of you being recognized, and a special shout out to Stephanie Boyd, who also works at the Whiting School and received this honor from our staff as well, so it's really wonderful to see her be acknowledged again. I'd like to introduce Miss Monique Pua, our Teacher of the Year. Mrs. Pua came to the Whiting School 5 years ago, and immediately we knew she was special, and she embraced being at our school and continuously serves as a teacher leader. She is fluent in Spanish and often works with our families who are ELL to translate and communicate the needs of our students. In addition to that, I would say that she is one of the most passionate people that I've ever met in regards to her students. I think the only thing that probably outweighs that is her commitment to her family. And as you can see, they're here with her tonight. Her daughter, Caitlin, her daughter, Vanessa, her husband is in the back, Kia, and her son, Dominic, I think is here, and one of her sons, Jay, could not be here this evening. I do want to also say that Monique worked on her Master's in Educational Leadership last year and was able to obtain it, and now serves as our assistant to the principal, doing an outstanding job serving in my stead when necessary. We are so excited to have her being acknowledged tonight, our Teacher of the Year, Monique Pua.
Thank you. Congratulations to everyone else that has won this amazing award. I did bring my girls up here. My daughter Vanessa is giving a speech herself on Friday, and I said to her, if I can do this, you can do this. So we're going to do this together. I'm proud and honored to have been chosen as Whiting Elementary's Teacher of the Year. I have dreamed of being a teacher since I was in first grade. It was the kindness, patience, and dedication of my first grade teacher, and I remember her so clearly, Miss Yema, that inspired me to become a teacher. I can only hope that my love of teaching and the time I take to build relationships with my students will one day inspire them as well. The road to where I stand was a bumpy one, but my passion and excitement for teaching never wavered. I attended a high school of teaching in New York, and I worked in classrooms all through high school, and I went on to college, but it took me 7 years to finish my bachelor's degree. And I ended up making the decision after all of those years to go an alternate route for education because I just kept having children. But I didn't give up. I did not give up. Once I was ready to teach, still life had other plans for me, and I did not start going into public education right away. I did a lot of other jobs. I was a paraprofessional, I was a substitute teacher, I was a preschool head teacher, I was a preschool assistant director. I did a lot of jobs, but always in education because that's where my heart was. And now I've been a basic skills teacher at Whiting for the past 5 years, and I've been lucky to work with so many wonderful teachers and students And there's a few of them. The one that I can see directly right in front of me that are always supporting me. So I'm thankful that everyone in the building embraces me, encourages my ideas, no matter how crazy they are. I push into classrooms every single day, and sometimes I walk into one of my co-teachers' classrooms and I say, I have a great idea. And some of them say, oh, great, okay. But they always are willing and open and ready, and I'm so appreciative of that. They appreciate my input and support me without hesitation. So I share this recognition with my Whiting School family for their kindness, their friendship, and their constant encouragement. Thank you for this privilege and for nominating me. I will do my very best to measure up to this title. But I would also like to thank Ms. Swift for pushing me to always reach to my highest potential and believing that I actually can. Thank you to Ms. Pedroza for inviting me to my first board meeting and then putting me on the spot and saying, I think I'm gonna ask you to speak, okay? Is that okay? And so here I am, speaking again. But with that opened up so many doors for me, and I am always so grateful for that. And all the opportunities I've had thanks to that one time speaking at a board meeting. Thank you to the Board of Education for always approving all of the things that I get talked into signing up for. I actually put in an application for 3 positions for this summer. You'll be getting those sometime today. So thank you to you as well for always supporting me. Thank you to my family, especially my husband, for always encouraging me, even when we have too much on our plate and crazy things going on in our house. To my boys for loving me and understanding me, even though at 10 o'clock at night I'm working and writing plans and doing things, and they just work around it and chat with me and fill me in on their days. Thank you to my girls who help me with the cricket and creating centers and doing all the teacher things, all on my weekends and at night and whenever they have the time. So my hope is that I can set an example for my students and my children and show them that you can make your dreams a reality. You just have to do the work. So thank you.
Now we would like to acknowledge our ESP of the Year, Ginger Almonte. Come on up, While Ginger's making her way to the front, I'd like to shout out Kim Castellano. She was saying don't do the math, but Kim actually played freshman field hockey for me my very first year as a teacher here. She was Ken Flanagan in those days. But you got it. It's wonderful to see her being acknowledged. She's an exceptional educator. So Ginger, we are acknowledging you as ESP of the Year for Whiting Elementary. Mrs. Almonte joined us 8 years ago as a paraprofessional after substituting for some time. She is joined tonight by her husband Emilio and her children Desiree and Emilio. Well, if there's one thing I can say about Ginger, she is patient. And as you all know, the role of a paraprofessional certainly does dictate patience, compassion, empathy. And she has all of those qualities, often coming in early, working with her students and her other colleagues to make sure that things are perfect in her classroom. And so we are excited to acknowledge you today. And this year she's working in ABA preschool, which of course is a new program at Whiting School, but she has embraced that challenge and done a wonderful job. Ginger Almonte.
I'm not much for words, so I'll try to keep it short and sweet so I don't get all emotional. But I'm so honored to be recognized at this year's ESP of the Year for Whiting School. I want to say thank you to Superintendent Ms. Pedroza. Thank you, Ms. Swift. Thank you to Ms. Hankston in my preschool class who took me in. Thank you to those who
husband and kids who have put up with me. You have all played a role in my life and in my career, and I thank you, and I couldn't have done it without any of you. Thank you so much.
And certainly, last but not least, I'd like to welcome up Mrs. McAllis, the principal of Regional Day School.
Thank you, Mrs. Pedrosa. I always say save the best for last. Congratulations to all of this year's honorees. Bravo for the great work you do for our Manchester students. It is my honor to introduce our Regional Day School Teacher of the Year, Allison McCann. This evening, she's accompanied by her two daughters, Meadow and Autumn. Allison has a Bachelor of Science degree in Fashion Design from Philadelphia University, a Bachelor of Arts degree from Western Governors University, and a Master's degree in Education, P3 Early Childhood from Monmouth University. Allison has 12 years experience as a preschool teacher, and for the last 2 years, she has called Regional Day School home. Allison is very compassionate, focused, and supportive. The classroom environment she fosters is one of exploration and genuine care for each other, as well as the world around them. Her multisensory, multilingual lessons include natural environment and outdoor learning activities to support language, sensory integration, STEM, and promote executive functioning in her littlest learners. Allison, you are an exemplary person and visionary teacher. You have made a positive difference in the lives of many students and families. Thank you for all you've done.
I would like to thank the board and Mrs. Pedrosa and Ms. Lisa for giving me the opportunity to work in Manchester. I remember interviewing with you both, and I instantly felt like I was home, and that this is where I'm meant to be. When I toured Regional Day, I remember saying how magical it was. I said, it's like Disney World. You can't understand the joy of RDS unless you experience it for yourself. Most people may not know, but before I was a teacher, I was a fashion designer. I worked with vendors and factories all over the world, and I was able to see my designs in stores across America. Most people would think that a fashion design career is more exciting, but there's nothing more rewarding than being a preschool special education teacher. I'm able to hear some of my students' first words and share it with their families. My families pray that they're able to hear their child speak or use assistive technology to be able to communicate. My team and I work very hard to help our students to self-regulate, communicate, and learn how to connect with trusted adults and peers. The joys and possibilities are endless, and it truly takes a village to raise a preschooler. I always say that I could never, ever do my job without the support of my paras, my service providers, and the support of our families who are here. In my classroom, we are setting the foundation for a successful school year and future in education. We are so thankful to contribute to all of the milestones that our students make, no matter how big or how small. I would also like to thank my wonderful paraprofessionals and my students' parents for nominating me for such a wonderful award. I am truly so thankful to receive the recognition. Upon receiving this award, I had said to Ms. Lisa and Ms. Pedrosa that I was so grateful, but I like to fly under the radar. Mrs. Pedrosa said, greatness does not fly under the radar here in Manchester. Believe in your students and always hold the greatest expectations for their success. Stay humble, focused, and inspired, and amazing things will happen. I am forever grateful to be a part of Manchester, and I will continue to show excellence by example. Thank you.
Mrs. Amanda Langone, our ESP of the Year. Amanda has great pride for her family, our school, and our community. She's a Manchester graduate and continues to reside in this great community with her husband, Paul, her two children, Paulie and Ava, who are here sitting in the front row. Amanda volunteers her time at the Manchester Township Little League and continues to hit the ball out of the park each and every day. She's an experienced child care professional and is rounding the base on her 3rd year as a paraprofessional at the Regional Day School. Amanda is truly in a league of her own, continually swinging for the fences as she hones her skills and supports her teammates to advance. She is a registered behavior technician and is continuing coursework to become a certified teacher. When a curveball is tossed her way, she has excellent problem-solving skills. The honor of ESP of the Year is truly fitting because Amanda is an exemplary super paraprofessional. She's compassionate, hardworking, and committed to helping every student reach their fullest potential. We are so thankful you're a part of our team.
Good evening, and let me start by saying what an honor and privilege it is to be accepting the award for Regional Day's Education Service Professional of the Year. As some of you may or may not know, my journey with children started some years ago at As We Grow Child Care. I was there for 16 years and had many of the children that went through our district. I loved my job there, where I spent time watching the kids grow and learn before sending them off to elementary school. As my own kids got older and they too went off into elementary school, I figured what better way to follow my passion for helping children than to get a job in the district I had already watched so many children flourish in. So I made the leap and applied. I had my interview with Miss Lisa over Zoom while I was on vacation. I took the job and I never looked back. On my very first day at RDS, I fell in love. As soon as you walk through the doors, you feel the kindness radiating from the students and staff, and I am so happy I get to be a part of that each and every day. We really are a hidden gem. My second year at RDS, I was moved to preschool, back to my roots as I call it. That's when I met RDS's new teacher of the year, Mrs. Allison McCann. I feel as though I have her to thank in part for this honor. She took what I already knew about preschool to a whole new level. She teaches and guides her students and support staff with such ease and grace that it gave me the push I needed to return to school to become a special education teacher myself. Thank you, Miss Allison. I'd like to also thank my students, especially my one-on-one, for teaching me the real meaning of acceptance, for learning and growing with me, even when it's hard and they don't want to, and for showing me that every behavior is a form of communication, and sometimes all it takes is to know that you are understood. Thank you to my friends and colleagues who nominated me. Kim and Haley, as last year's recipients, it's truly an honor to be nominated by the two of you. You both have been an incredible support system for me and an essential part of my RDS journey, and I truly appreciate all the kind words written about me. I want to say thank you to our superintendent, Ms. Pedrosa, and the Board of Education, and to our principal, Ms. Lisa. Thank you for giving me a chance to become part of the RDS family and for always pushing me to be the best version of myself. Most importantly, last but certainly not least, I would really like to thank my friends and family, my husband Paul for always supporting me, and our kids Polly and Eva for putting up with me and all my schoolwork, the late nights and early mornings, and for listening to my endless stories about my school kids. I hope this proves to both my kids that it's never too late to follow your dreams. Thank you and congratulations to all tonight's recipients. May you all continue to be excellence by example.
So congratulations to all the recipients. Once again, nice round of applause. So I've been here for about 26 years, and funny thing, when I got Teacher of the Year, we used to go on the River Lady. How many of you have done that? So I had the honor of going with these fine professionals to the Teacher of the Year recognition celebration this past week. It was at the RWJ Barnabas, and it was fantastic. But the thing that resonated with me is that the young teacher that got up there said, "Remember your why." And I always say that to all of my children, my students, the teachers, remember your why. And I think this evening we can see everyone's why. The other thing she said is, do not let anyone dull your shine. And that is really important in Manchester. We need to shine. We shine like we've never shined before. We have Manchester pride, and do not let anybody dull your shine, and we can see that this evening. So I'd like to give them a round of applause again. I'd also like to say, when I first started here 26 years ago, it was always, Manchester's the hidden gem. We're not the hidden gem. We are greatness, and we are going to continue to lead by example, and we will not fly under the radar. So remember, shine brightly, Manchester. That's what we do. We do that for our students. We do that for our community. So always feel that Manchester pride. I'm going to ask the Teachers of the Year to come up for a photo in a moment, but I also want to acknowledge the PTA. Tomorrow night, the PTA has a wonderful meeting. It's scheduled here at the high school at 6:30. I want to thank them. They're going to be awarding some wonderful mini grants to our teachers, so thank you so much to our PTA. I'd also like to thank our PTA, our MTEA, the Nurtured Heart, the admins, and all the parents for contributing to the district-wide celebrations for teacher appreciation. It's really a wonderful time of year. We should be celebrating our teachers and our educators all throughout the year, but I will tell you to have that week was so special. So thank you to everybody who contributed to that. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a photo, and then after that, if anybody'd like to leave, we'll continue our meeting, okay? I know it's late for some of the little ones. We want them to get to bed. It's late for some of the high school people too. I know you gotta get up early. You'll be back here in how many hours, right, Erin? Okay, so I'm gonna ask the teachers and the ESPs to please come up.
So I don't have much to report from last time. Last Friday we did our senior student recognition for the seniors of active military and retirees. We had a handful of Manchester students go out and they had a great time. And I just want to thank the board and Ms. Pedroza for continuing to support the military and all the military students. That's all I got. Thanks.
Good evening, everyone. As you just heard, my name is Catherine Estevanel, and I'm the Executive Publicist for Manchester Township High School Student Council. My goal here tonight is to keep the board updated on important information regarding events past or events being planned ever since the last meeting, including our Spring Spirit Week, in which students received a demerit reduction for participating, and our Spring Pep Rally, where we hosted Slime the Principal. Here are our events that we've been working on. Our executive SGA has been working on the Someone Special Dance, which will take place on Sunday, June 2nd, 2024. This is a day of fun where elementary schoolers can come participate in dancing, face painting, and games with their Someone Special grown-up. The senior class of 2024 has been working on their senior gift ideas for graduation. Their prom is scheduled for this Friday, May 17th at Mainland, and they're looking into hosting a student versus staff basketball game. The junior class of 2025 has their prom scheduled for May 31st, and they're still working out the details. The sophomore class of 2026 is looking into a restaurant fundraiser, as well as possible cornhole fundraisers in the spring. The freshman class of 2027 is working on a spike ball tournament at some point in the spring, as well as a possible movie night. Thank you all for allowing me to represent the high school student government at your meeting here tonight. I'm truly honored to be here tonight and have the opportunity to fill you all in on everything our SGA has been working so hard on. Thanks again, and have a wonderful night.
Thanks, Catherine. At this time, we'd like to hear your report, Craig.
Couple things. Just a couple things on the agenda. We have our regular board minutes, which we do every month, and they're typically the minutes from the previous board meeting. We had to do an amendment to our June 14, 2023 board minutes. Every year at our June meeting, we approve things for the upcoming school year. And when we approved our board policies at that meeting, we approved them for the 22-23 school year instead of 23-24. So the amendment is just to correct that. And that was also part of our QSAC review, so we're updating that so that we can submit that document too. We have two grant amendments on the agenda. The first one is for our homeless, ARP homeless grant. We received an additional $1,071 that we have allocated to the grant. And what we've used those funds for is to offset homeless student transportation. And then the second one is our ESSER ARP grant. This is the last federal grant that we received during COVID. This is like the last pot of COVID money. This money does need to be spent by September 30th. So we have made some amendments to the grant to better allocate it to our needs as we see them today. Because this grant has spanned over 2 or 3 year period, and some of the things have changed. So the amendment on the agenda tonight reflects what we plan to do with the remaining funds. Last month we approved Comptonian Food Service to come back as our food service provider. They were the only company that submitted a bid. So we accepted that last month. Tonight is just approving the contract language, which is on the agenda. And then lastly, I'm asking the board to approve a withdrawal out of our maintenance reserve to install some new scoreboards in the district. We're looking to replace, we're looking to add a soccer field scoreboard, a scoreboard on our field hockey lacrosse field, and a scoreboard in the stadium. I want to thank our booster club. Our booster club donated $13,000 towards this project, so that will cover the cost. That will cover the cost of the scoreboard for the soccer field and the field hockey lacrosse field. We also had a fundraiser earlier in the year. Actually, it probably started last year, where we collected donations for new uniforms for our football teams. There was funding left over there, and donor that made the biggest donation allowed us to use the remaining funds to put towards replacing the scoreboard at the high school. So I want to thank him as well. And we will cover the cost of installation. And that's my report.
Thank you. I'd also like to thank the Booster Club for their generous donation to our school fields. At this time, we invite any residents who have questions or comments on agenda items only to come to the microphone. Are there any other board member reports?
This past Friday, I attended the New Jersey School Board Association conference, spring conference, focused mostly, for myself, I focused on school safety.
Thank you.
Yes, and Gloria Atkinson. I also attended the same conference, and school safety was also an issue that I focused on.
Is there any old business or correspondence?
There is no old business and no correspondence.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to move to the agenda, section 1A, new business numbers 1 through 5. Can I get a motion? Second. Any discussion? Can I get a roll call, please?
Mr. Servant? Yes. Ms. Weinstein?
Yes.
Mr. Keller?
Yes to the June 14th minutes, and but I'm staying from April 30th.
Mrs. Atkinson?
Yes.
Mr. Merkin?
Abstain from number 2, please.
Ms. Winkler?
Yes, I have to abstain from the April 30th regular meeting, so that's the regular board meeting.
And Ms. Mount?
Yes. Okay. B, contracts, waivers, and C, grants. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? Can I get a roll call, please?
Mr. Servant?
Yes.
Ms. Weinstein?
Yes.
Mr. Keller?
Yes.
Mrs. Atkinson?
Yes.
Mr. Merkin?
Yes.
Mrs. Winkler?
Yes.
Mrs. Mount?
Yes. D, curriculum, numbers 1 through 4. Can I get a motion, please?
Motion.
Discussion?
I have a quick question, Mr. Jones, sorry for not putting it sooner. I saw a really exciting course on here, I just wanted to know what it was. It was for elementary, it said integrated theater. Is that new?
No, it's actually a requirement that we offer that, but we integrate it into our music.
That makes sense, right, it's integrated, okay. Awesome.
Any other discussion? Can I get a roll call, please?
Mr. Servant?
Yes.
Ms. Weinstein?
Yes.
Mr. Keller?
Yes.
Mrs. Atkinson?
Yes.
Mr. Merkin?
Yes.
Mrs. Winkler?
Yes.
Mrs. Mount?
Yes. E, food service, numbers 1 to 3. Can I get a motion, please?
Motion.
Second. Any discussion? Can I get a roll call, please?
Mr. Servant?
Yes.
Ms. Weinstein?
Yes.
Mr. Kelleher?
Yes.
Mrs. Atkinson?
Yes.
Mr. Merkin?
Yes.
Mrs. Winkler?
Yes.
Mrs. Mount?
Yes. F, maintenance reserve account withdrawal, number 1. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Discussion? Can I get a roll call, please?
Mr. Servant?
Yes.
Ms. Weinstein?
Yes.
Mr. Kelleher?
Yes.
Mrs. Atkinson?
Yes.
Mr. Merkin? Mrs. Winkler?
Yes.
Mrs. Mount?
Yes. Section 2A, administrative, numbers 1 through 8. Can I get a motion, please?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? I would like to thank the PTA for all of their generous donations and their mini grants. And I look forward to seeing the recipients tomorrow, so thank you, PTA, for that. Any other discussion? Can I get a roll call, please?
Mr. Servant?
Yes.
Ms. Weinstein?
Yes.
Mr. Potts? Oops, sorry. Mr. Keller?
Yes.
Mrs. Atkinson?
Yes.
Mr. Merkin?
Yes.
Mrs. Winkler?
Yes.
Mrs. Mount?
Yes. B, personnel, numbers 1 through 25. Can I get a motion, please?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? I'd like to congratulate all those who are retiring and wish all those who are moving on to other positions the best of luck. Can I get a roll call, please?
Mr. Servant?
Yes.
Ms. Weinstein?
Yes.
Mr. Keller?
Yes.
Mrs. Atkinson?
Yes.
Mr. Merkin?
Yes. Winkler. Mrs. Knapp.
Yes. C, student personnel, number 1. Can I get a motion, please?
Second.
Any discussion? Can I get a roll call, please?
Mrs. Servant.
Yes.
Ms. Weinstein.
Yes.
Mr. Kelleher.
Yes.
Mrs. Atkinson.
Yes.
Mr. Merkin. Mrs. Winkler. Mrs. Knapp.
Yes. D, special services, number 1. Can I get a motion, please?
Second.
Discussion? Can I get a roll call, please?
Mrs. Servant.
Yes.
Ms. Weinstein.
Yes.
Mr. Kelleher.
Yes.
Mrs. Atkinson.
Yes.
Mr. Merkin. Mrs. Winkler.
Yes.
Mrs. Knapp.
Yes. Section 3, finance, numbers 1 through 5. Can I get a motion, please?
Motion.
Any discussion? Can I get a roll call, please?
Mrs. Servant.
Yes.
Ms. Weinstein.
Yes.
Mr. Kelleher.
Yes.
Mrs. Atkinson.
Yes.
Mr. Merkin. Mrs. Winkler.
Yes.
Mrs. Knapp.